So I just discovered a cool effect on a web page from Florian Sondershausen. This is just a crypto guru. I think you can see in my expression that I don't think he's getting real results for his students, but these people exist. And if we look at it, I like the homepage, so it's really well done. We have this parallax effect. So if I'm scrolling down, he moves up. And yeah, also not just that is important, but also this hue on the back, this gradient on the background, this radial background isn't always the most native function in Elementor. So I wanted to show you how I did it. This is the code for it, and you're gonna type it out for yourself today because I'm an evil bastard. No, I think it's also an experience for yourself. This is how it looks. This is just a parallax effect that just represents the same function as he moves up, and these boxes with the hue on the background, and the guy moving up is actually just mainly the creativity. You need to somehow first see it somewhere and then you can copy it, so you have something like this. Otherwise, if we just pick this image, go into advanced, go under motion effects, and then the vertical motion. And if I'm moving down, so vertical scroll, the direction of this is moving up. And if I slow, for example, this down, can put this to 1, then he is barely moving. You can see here the text, the distance he is moving, it's much less. But if we move this up to 10, he's much more visibly moving. And also we can pick here when this movement starts. So is it starting here? So yeah, he still moves, but you can see here the distance he moves, but the starting of his movement is much later. But what's really important for us right now, you can actually leave the top part open, the bottom part, how is he moving. Yeah, and that's for that part. And otherwise for this hue, this isn't visible here because this is a custom CSS I put in, but here's the containers. Let's look into the first one. I assigned this hue to a container where this video is placed in. So we go on the container, and you could either, if you have a pro version of Elementor, you can put it just in here, or we are assigning, where is my ID actually? I should have a CSS ID here, and maybe it's on the upper part, I don't know. Yeah, here's the container, here's gradient 1. Somehow it's not assigned to the lower part because I just duplicated it, and if you duplicate it, then the CSS ID doesn't get duplicated as well. But here is everything already set up. You can see also here on the web page that the gradient here, just as on the original page, is on the background. You can just play around on the blur, because this is done with the blur. Here blur on how big it goes or reaches out of the actual container. And if you look, yeah, it's not on the lower part. But yeah, we just assign a CSS ID, and then we're gonna reference this one. Here we are going to reference each one, gradient 1, gradient 2, gradient 3, but actually I gave each one just a gradient 1 CSS selector, so you don't need to move. We can actually delete this here and it will still function. And yeah, the background, this is just a linear background, linear gradient. You can see it here. This is how it looks from left to right, this linear background. And the colors, so I used really this generate CSS color gradient, put in my 2 colors, clicked on generate, and then didn't take the image, but just clicked on all of it. And then on here I removed this image part because we don't need that. And yeah, that's really to it. So make sure to copy also this part, because I tried prompting it with ChatGPT, and also the more advanced UX or UI large language model with Cloud. and it wasn't that great, so I was looking at a YouTube video and the guy had something similar, so I could repurpose what he was using to my purpose, and yeah, it's working. Thanks for watching, and subscribe, like, do whatever is needed.